One sec, why don't you try my hands?
You try your hands. Okay, so I don't always make things from scratch. In fact, a lot of times I don't. And while I do like learning how to cook things to cook in general and just make simple, easy meals. I don't know if that one fits okay. So what I'm doing is just making a really basic kind of like enchilada. It's not authentic. Yeah, authentic. Look at, I'm struggling there. You can tell my years in speech therapy are showing. Yeah, I did. I always struggle with speech. So these are not authentic enchiladas. They're just something really easy to cook, especially if you're busy. So what I did is, you can actually use your rotisserie chicken. What I did was, what, baby?
I didn't realize I came up with
Oh yeah, it's right there. What I did, you need to wash your hands, kid.
Why?
Because, so what I did was use our broiler chickens, our meat chickens, and I went ahead and I prepared that, and I peeled the meat off of them, and then I stuck it into this bowl, and what I did was pour half of a container of half and half. This is the one that I use because I'm in Texas, so H-E-B is my favorite store. It really is one of my favorites. And so I used half of this, and then I used 3 cups of this blend of cheese because it's also one of my absolute favorites. You can use any kind of cheese that you want. And I used chupacabra seasoning, and this is the chupacabra rub. You can use any kind of seasoning, but this is actually one of our favorites. And I season to taste and also a lot of times to smell. So I would say season for your preference because it's not going to match mine. And I don't measure seasoning ever. I just kind of dump it in there until it looks good or smells good when I'm cooking, and then taste it and hope that it works out. And so I mix all of that in this bowl. Now why you don't see a lot of the mix in the bowl is because I was over halfway through making it when I thought, you know, maybe someone else would like to make something simple and this would help them out. So I apologize for being a little behind there. And so all I did was take some tortillas, whether homemade or store-bought. For me, they're definitely store-bought today. Oh, it's probably because she's laying on a baby. The baby just woke up from her nap and she's kind of laying on her arm. And by baby, I mean my 5-year-old. She's our baby. And so I just used these tortillas this time. And this is kind of what it looks like. What I did was take this mix with the chicken and go ahead and put it in a tortilla and just roll it up. And then you're going to stick it upside down in the pan, kind of like we're doing here. Now the side ones always fit really funny. And so that's really all it is to it. And then I like using this one, this green sauce. I really do want to get back to canning my own, but I just haven't. Honestly, I killed all my tomatillo plants this year before I even got them off of the grow trays and outside. They were under the grow lights when I killed them, and that was because I forgot to water them and got so caught up in school and work that I just didn't do what I was supposed to. So I might have a few tomatillo plants to plant outside, but it's gonna look pretty sad this year. So next year, I'll have to focus better on taking care of my plants. So this is the green sauce that I'm using, and I use 2 cans, and I'm just gonna open it up and pour it on top. And then when I make cheese enchiladas, and sometimes when I make this kind, I prefer to use this because that's what the boys like, and they prefer cheese enchiladas. So I'll do the same exact thing, add a significant amount of cheese, heavy whipping cream, and some chupacabra seasoning. Mix it all together, and then pour the sauce, put it in tortillas, pour the sauce on, and just put cheese on top. So it'll be really cheesy, and it usually doesn't take as much red sauce, maybe 1 to 1.5 cans compared to the green sauce, just because it's for the kids and it's cheese, so I feel like they don't need as much to it. With the chicken, it's usually not dry, but sometimes I cook it too much before I take it off the chicken, which is an issue. And so here's kind of what's left of the meat chickens after I've taken a portion of the meat off, and you can see there's still a good portion of meat on it. especially here on the breast and on the legs. So this will actually become a second meal for us, likely maybe chicken and dumplings or something, where I can just use the chicken and all of this juice in the pan as a broth, all the rest of it, so none of it goes to waste. So it's really cool. One meal for one day can kind of get you ahead on the meal for the next day. Okay, so Charlie's gonna help me pour the sauce, and go ahead, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just pour it over the top.
That's a lot
You're
of
doing a
sauce.
pretty good job. And we're gonna use 2 cans of this. Go ahead and get the second one, buddy.
What the second one's kind of.
We had to take a pause to clean their nails and everything. So now we're getting back into it. Make sure you get kind of all the tortillas, even where you see where it's not. That's where you want to kind of put it. Good job, bub. I need to go to my aunt's house and get this phone stand so it's even right over the top of the workspace. The kind that people usually use to record. And I'm always there. Like, I was there just a couple of days ago. I did not even think to grab it once again because I'm extremely forgetful. Okay, so now what we're going to do is sprinkle cheese over the top of this, just like this.
Beautiful.
I like to think it's beautiful. So this is just a really simple meal. It's something easy to make, and if you actually grow tomatillos and make your own salsa verde, it works out perfectly because it's easy, you know, to make tortillas once you learn how. I just don't always want to be perfectly honest. It's a green sauce, baby. And this may be more cheese than some people like, and that's really all there is to it. You just put it in the oven until the cheese melts or it gets a little crispy, however you like it. Some people like it when it starts to get a little golden, and some people just like it the way that it is, just barely melted. So it's really up to you. And I'm gonna try my best to show the finished product, but if not, because life gets crazy and unpredictable around here, I actually have a picture of at least the red sauce on the enchiladas on my Instagram that I'll put below, and I'll try to kind of put a better recipe and get measurements.
The red sauce.
Please don't. You're silly. Actually, pretty much make this completely homemade from scratch. Something that I did not do, but I would like to do in the future. So, yeah, I was just telling them that I killed most of my tomatillo plants before they made it out from it. I forgot to water them again. Yeah. And so,
Wait, do we still have tomatillo?
Go look in there. Okay, so it was really loud in here and I didn't get around to filming the final product until after dinner, but overall, these are the salsa verde ones, and they turned out really good.
I didn't like them.
You didn't like, but you've never tried them. That's because you really like the cheese ones. And these are the cheese ones, and they look amazing. And they had a little kick. The red sauce is a little spice to it, but the kids were able to eat it for the most part. It turns out the green sauce is actually a lot milder. So for our youngest child, we fed her that. Are you excited? Alright, go get in the car. Your brother's starting it.
Why?
Tonight I have a lot of schoolwork to do. I have a big paper to write and another paper due later this week because we're closing the semester. So we're gonna hang out tonight and go get coffee, which is not something we do very often, for them anyways. My husband and I drink coffee a lot, but I wanted to at least kind of show you the end results for the most part. I think these would be really, really good to like make ahead of time and put in a pan in the freezer, and I'm going to do that and also probably make some for lunches for my husband, but this is the end result. So I hope this recipe kind of helps you guys out. I'm sorry the video quality is not excellent, but it was kind of a spur of the moment, last minute thing, recording everything. So thank you guys for kind of hanging with me and seeing my quirkiness and my recipes.